I've said it once and I'll say it again. Fort Worth is where the West begins and where oil and gas only continues to thrive. I have the mayor of Fort Worth on this episode of The Crude Truth. Alliance of Energy Producers 2025 Summit here at the Crescent Hotel in Fort Worth is just continuing to give more and more great information about the oil and gas industry and also the wonderful, amazing city of Fort Worth. We just had a great lunch speaking with the mayor of Fort Worth, Mattie Parker, and she's here for a few minutes. Mattie, how are you, ma'am?
Great, Ray. Thanks for having me. I appreciate it.
Well, Mayor Parker, first of all, thank you so much for a few minutes, and thank you for coming in today to the Texas Alliance of Energy Producers summit this year. And when you were in there talking, did you just what did the energy feel like this year for all those men and women in the room?
Well, it's always nice to have an alignment around different issues. And this alliance has always been very effective in Austin. That's usually how I've seen that context, right? But we have great members here from Fort Worth. I think the energy was really positive and people are enthusiastic about the work that the alliance is doing. Importantly, where the energy industry is altogether right now in the United States.
You said one really cool stat that I didn't know, that was that 11 million people have visited the stockyards, and that's not more than the Eiffel Tower. That just goes to show in the continued growth here in this great city. I'd also, can you share the stat about the land size here, the 50% that you shared?
Good question. So the city of Fort Worth is 350 square miles, which is a pretty broad city, but we're only half developed. So we've spent a lot of time in the last 5 to 10 years thinking about what that city needs to look like moving forward. And it's unique for a large city to have that much land mass to grow into. So things look really bright here in the city of Fort Worth for sure. And I think to your point about the stockyards, there's a lot of visitor tourism that's happening here in our city. People are really excited about being here for the first time or maybe returning with their families. The stockyards is really special, mostly just because there's this Western heritage, renewed interest in Western heritage that the stockyards has, because it's truly authentic.
Another thing about the stockyards, and you mentioned this, as a great little show that we do, The Crude Truth, and every now and then I get to do fun interviews for WBAP, and people are always asking me about Landman, and they're like, how real is it? Can you just talk about actually the positive that Landman has brought to the city of Fort Worth and the knowledge of the oil and gas industry and just the
I
tourism?
mean, really, it's multiple productions that have been here because of One Owen Studios and Taylor Sheridan. They're all the only ones doing film and television production. We want more of that here in our city, just like the energy industry is a bedrock. So are these other productions. But Landman has been special because you've seen some of the stars like Billy Bob Thornton really spend time here in our city, get to know the community. And I think really the sky's the limit. I think we've got the right infrastructure in place to make sure film and television continues to thrive in this community.
Well, I want to ask you one more question because I know you're getting ready to just continue to thrive. When you became mayor, what was one of the surprises in the energy sector that you may have not known or that was just a surprise?
Well, I think usually in my experience, the energy industry is really quiet. They don't ask for anything. They want to give back to the community, have great employees. But at the same time, especially in the last several years around regulatory space, they also needed better voices. And so I learned a lot from them and them just trying to grasping forward. They need local support, statewide support, national support to really tell the story. I mean, Texas' economy depends on the energy industry. I'm incredibly proud to have companies that are based here in our city that are leading really the entire country. And I think it did surprise me how quiet they can be, but now maybe they're definitely more awake and really focused. I think today's event really does demonstrate that.
Well, Mayor Parker, I cannot thank you enough for a few minutes, and thank you for always supporting our industry and just continuing to grow this wonderful, great city. So thank you so much. And we'll see you again on another episode of The Crude Truth.